Welcome back to another unboxing video where I make old family recipes. Today's recipe is fruit sherbet. Now, this isn't cooking, like I said I'd go back to, but it is not baking, which is the thing I said I would not do. So, this is a pretty easy recipe. I always say that and then something goes wrong, but it's combining everything and letting it freeze. I think I could do that. It has orange juice, grape juice, and lemon juice, which are not fruits I'm particularly fond of, but I'm hoping if this turns out pretty good, or I think like the texture is nice, I can experiment with different kinds of fruit, maybe more berries or even like watermelon, things that I like a little bit more. But you know, let's one step at a time. Let's see if I can even make this work. So let's get started. All right, I have all my ingredients in front of me. I have my sugar off to the side here. I have my orange juice, my grape juice, my lemon juice. I probably won't need both of these, but I got the two of these together as a cup and I wasn't sure how much I would need. My milk, and that's all this is. This is literally all this is. You just add everything together and then throw it in the freezer. And you do some additional beatings during the first hour, but like, come on. So we have our bowl, and the first thing is to mix the sugar and the fruit juices. So let's start with the sugar. We're fine. So I need a cup of sugar. I don't want to pour this because I know I'm gonna miss, so I'm just gonna scoop it. That looks about right. So I got a cup of sugar. Next up is 1 cup of orange juice. Here I have Simply Orange, pulp-free, because I don't want pulp in my sherbet, thank you very much. And I just don't like pulp in general. I feel like that's a hot take. Do I need to shake this? It does not say I need to shake it, so I'm not going to shake it. 1 cup orange juice. Like sizzling. Okay, 1 cup orange, 1 cup grape. Do I have to shake this one? No. I've had some like fruit drinks before that make you shake, and I didn't know since these are like 100% pure if I had to shake them or not. I wonder what color this is going to turn out to be. Probably pink. Oh. She says as it turns murky brown. There's the grape. All right, so we need to add 1/3 cup of lemon juice. This is where it's gonna get kind of fun, because all I have is these. So where's my 1/3 cup? 1/3 cup. I've never opened one of these. Oh, the incision. I'll set this here in case I need it again. Need 1/3 cup, so here we go. Oh, I'm gonna be here a while. You can't even tell because it's a yellowish liquid going into a yellow measuring cup. There's gotta be a better way to do this. Oh my gosh. This feels like a lot, but also not enough lemon juice. Especially because I needed a whole cup of the other two. Okay, we're gonna call that good. Put the cap back on. Alright, 1/3 cup lemon juice. Ooh, that made it turn some colors. Oh, now it's all frothy. Alright, so now we mix the sugar and the fruit juice, and then we slowly add in the milk. And the milk is... I had to go out and buy milk for this. I also bought whole milk. And you're thinking, why whole milk? And it's like, well, I was gonna say something profound, but I forgot what it was. Oh, yes. Because after talking to my mom about like different kinds of milk, probably my grandma did not have skim milk or 2%. Like it probably was just straight up milk. So I thought, whole milk will probably be closer to what she had. The recipe calls for 1.5 cups. That's why I'm doing it this way. There we go. Let's put the cap back on. All right, So I need to mix this up and slowly add these two in. Let's do some mixing first, make sure we get all the... I'll move that over so you guys can see a little bit. And some backlighting. That doesn't help. That helps a little bit. So it's kind of turning this, I don't know, mauve. It's a lot, it's purple, but it's got a little bit of red to it. And it's also, light. It also looks kind of saturated. All right, let's add a little bit of the half cup. This is not exactly the color I was thinking it was going to be. I thought it would be a lot more vibrant, but it's pretty desaturated. But I guess like most frozen treats are, especially when it doesn't have anything fake in it. Alright, I think we are ready for the next step, which is to pour into, she calls it a freezer tray, but I'm just going to use my trusty 9x13. Alright, pour this over, and then I put it into the freezer, and then I beat it twice within the first hour. That's all the instructions we have. Other than that, I assume we just let it sit. Let's give it a good pour for the people at home. I can't tell if this looks really, really good or kind of odd, because it reminds me of a lot of like popsicle sticks I've had in the past, but it also, I don't know, looks kind of sickly, like diluted Pepto-Bismol. Is that what it is? Yeah. Or that like pink stuff I had as a kid that I had for something. I was sick and they prescribed it to me, and then I got sick again and they gave it to me, and then it turns out that I'm either allergic to it, or they were just like, oh, we thought you had something worse. So it reminds me of that. It tasted terrible. If I can find it online, I guess I'll put a picture here. Anyway, put this in the freezer, and I'll be back in 20 and then 40 minutes to show you what it looks like as I give it a good beating. See you then. So it's been about 20-ish minutes. I have been beating this pretty well for maybe 5 minutes. But this is about what it's looked like. I think I'm about to put it back in the freezer. I just wanted to give you a quick update. I, of course, forgot to hit record when I first got out of the freezer, so I'll never remember and you'll never know what it looked like. But this is about 5-ish minutes of beating. It hasn't changed that much, so I'm going to assume that's all it pretty much needs, just a little air. So I'm going to put this back in the freezer for another 20-ish minutes, and I'll come back with another update when I beat it again. See you in a bit. It is now, again, about 20-ish minutes later, so let's get the sherbet out of the fridge. Freezer. That's what she looks like. You tell it definitely started to freeze a little bit more. Oh. Oh. Alright. Alright, it's time to beat this again for another, I think I did it for 5 minutes last time. And then leave it in the freezer. Hopefully I'll have enough willpower to leave it freeze overnight, but if not, I'll do a taste test when it's totally frozen through. I am planning on letting it freeze overnight though. Good morning, or actually good afternoon. It is now about, I think, 14 hours since I made the sherbet. I've only been awake for about an hour, as you can probably tell by my voice. I haven't even had breakfast. I woke up and I was like, stay in bed today. So I have not looked at the sherbet. I haven't even pulled it out of the fridge. The last time I saw it was before I went to bed. I checked on it and it wasn't even entirely frozen. So let's grab a spoon. Let's grab it. Yeah, let's grab a bigger spoon. And I'll go grab it out of the freezer. It smells really good. It kind of reminds me of like maybe a popsicle. It's kind of that pale pink texture that we saw last time. I didn't realize I was still very tired. So, I don't know what to expect. Other than it's going to be pretty fruity, but I don't have any sort of preconceived notion because it's not, my brain is like, oh, it's strawberry, but it's not. It's a little bit of lemon, grape, and orange. So maybe citrusy? I'm not quite sure. Also, I forgot to take my retainers out. Hold on. Now I won't lisp as much. All right. We've got our spoon. We've got our sherbet. It's just time to dig in, I guess. Ooh. Very frozen. I was able to get a chunk out of the corner. It's very, very cold. It's the first thing I've had today, so it's like, good morning. This is really good. Like, it's very sweet. You get that nice sort of, not tang and not sting. Citrus, I guess? Wow. I should have waited until I was more awake to record this bit. But the orange, it gives it a nice, like, sweet but tangy flavor. And then the grape also is nice. And, wow. Commentary is bad. It's good. I really like this. I thought I wouldn't like it as much because I don't like grapes and orange. But this is pretty damn good. I think in the future I would still like play with different fruit combinations. Like maybe swap out the grape for strawberry. Or, ooh, maybe watermelon. But this recipe worked. I'm so glad it did. I thought I wouldn't get it because I was like, it's so simple. The last time I had this simple recipe, I burned it. So this is really, really nice. I wish I made this sooner because it's getting kind of cold out now that it's like October and actually fall. But this is really nice. This would be really good to make like sometime during the summer. Got a bunch of family coming over, or you just need a quick like sherbety snack. This is super easy. Just throw everything together and let it freeze. Just gonna keep eating it. It's really just pleasant. It's refreshing. That's one of the words I should have used. It's really refreshing. It reminds me more of like a popsicle than maybe sherbet. I forgot there's milk in this too. That's probably why it's really good. It's been a while since I've had actual sherbet though, so maybe it's sherbet textured. I just don't know. But this is pretty good. Definitely gonna keep this recipe. I feel like I redeemed myself after the cake last week. pretty good. They're really good. Honestly, like, usually I just make these recipes just for the fun of it, but like, I really encourage you guys to make this at home. This is pretty good. My body's probably like, oh my goodness, oranges? I haven't had one of those in months. Thank goodness. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. This video is probably a little shorter than the other ones just because this recipe was so simple. The bulk of the time was it sitting in the freezer. But nonetheless, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to not interact with the video. But next week, I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I feel a lot better. I have redeemed myself. I might try something a little more complicated. Maybe something like cooking something. There were some soup recipes I saw in there when I was like browsing through. Or I could make another dessert because I've been spending way too much money on like a Little Debbie snacks when it's just like, just make your own. You have the power. Just make your own desserts. So we're either gonna be making something that's a little more complicated, like soup. And you're thinking that's not complicated. Well, a little more complicated cooking, or maybe making another cake that doesn't shame me as much as the sunshine cake did. Speaking of the sunshine cake, after watching the footage and doing a little bit of research, I did not beat the eggs long enough. It should have stiffened up more like a meringue, and I just was like, yeah, beat it for like 2 minutes, it's good to go. So I gave up too soon. If you want, I'm considering doing redos of some recipes because I would love to do the porcupine meatball recipe again, and let it bake slowly for 2 hours because my parents and I were like, wait, the 2 hours is probably so that the rice cooks. Or maybe redo the sunshine cake where I actually beat it with an actual whisk for long enough that the egg whites stiffen. If you want to see that, where I kind of redo some old recipes, you feel free to comment below. I think it would be really fun to see the change and growth that I go through as a cook and a baker. But that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week with another unboxing video. This is really good.